Angeba Sochola here. In this video, we'll be basically looking at a type 4 nuclear reactor. This nuclear reactor falls under a class of nuclear reactors known as SMRs. SMR stands for small modular reactors. When you speak of small modular reactors, you are referring to reactors that are 300 megawatts and below, right? In this video, specifically, we'll be discussing a type 4 nuclear reactor that has been designed in South Africa in the early 2000s, right? It was a government-funded project under ESCOM, and the government funded the project with about 30 billion rand. The reactor is known as a Pebble bed modular reactor, basically functioning at high temperature, using helium as a coolant and using a special fuel known as a Triso fuel. Let me explain what a Triso fuel is. A Triso fuel, it is a spherical ball the size of a tennis ball, right? Basically made of ceramic. But inside the core, it has an enriched uranium in it, right? So basically you take this ball and you place it inside the reactor, and when fission happens and when those high temperature reaction happens, the fuel burns inside that ceramic tennis ball like thing until the waste remains in the core of that ball, known as the Triso fuel. In this way, these are very safe devices to use for fuel. They don't overheat. Even when you remove a coolant from the system, the Triso fuel doesn't melt down or doesn't overheat to cause things like meltdowns, right? So basically, in this core, the reaction has a one direct cycle. Basically, you pump in helium gas into the heated reactor core, right? And then the helium gas in the reactor core turns into a superheated gas, right? When it turns into a superheated gas, then you send that superheated gas into something known as a gas turbine. When that gas turbine spins, electricity is produced. And then when the helium comes out from the other side of the turbine, it is cooled and then sent back to the reactor so that the cycle can repeat. In this way, you can produce electricity with only one cycle, right? As compared to the type 3 nuclear reactor, which has two cycles, right? So basically, the uses that you can have or that you can use SMRs for is, number one, it's great for desalination because of its high heat content. And number two, it's great for hydrogen production, right? And there has been later developments to the Pebble bed technology to add a second cycle in the reactor that will basically be used for process heating, right? So the Pebble bed has been used, has been designed in South Africa about in the early 2000s, and it's quite a great technology that South Africa has introduced. It basically places South Africa as a leading nuclear technology country in the 21st century. Thank you for listening to the video. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.